Hey, it's your old pal Lucid Stew again. This time we're going to talk about a logic piece I made during the Dreams beta, 3 options start menu. 3 options start menu is designed as a modular logic solution for anyone who wants to take any scene and give it a start menu. The system consists of the 6 main logic pieces you see here. The start menu allows the player to change and set the brightness and contrast as well as the volume of a scene. This is accomplished through the use of a gradient effect gadget as well as a mixer gadget. Each of those has an associated microchip that uses counters as variables in order to make user selections persistent. In order for the menu to function properly, those 4 elements must stay in the scene. The rest of the system can be deleted on start using the destructor in the upper left-hand corner. The system is highly customizable and is designed to be used by anyone from complete novices to those with intermediate logic experience. More advanced users could also adapt the base ideas into something more visually sophisticated while avoiding unnecessary legwork. At its simplest, all the system requires is that a game title be entered into the text displayer, overriding the placeholder text. The title menu system microchip does the rest of the work while affording plenty of other opportunities for customization, enabling the user the ability to employ this easy-to-use system without it looking like everyone else's title menu. Though the wires are a tad messy, the title menu system microchip is laid out in a way that makes it easy to find and change things. All microchips and gadgets are labeled in a descriptive manner that makes it clear what they do, what signals are, and where they are going. The menu system contains 3 submenus: main, video, and audio. This is the main submenu. Controls flow through the submenus, ensuring that input from the player is restricted to the actions of the specific submenu they are viewing. The control flow of the submenus is separated from their display functions to facilitate customization. Each submenu contains a microchip where all of the displayer gadgets from the submenu reside. In the base configuration, a submenu will display options, control use direction, and player option adjustment feedback. Options are highlighted simply by toggling displayer outline visibility. These menus can be easily expanded by adding more displayers. In addition, each displayer can very easily be customized through the standard available options within them. This presents another very easy means of customization for novices, changing displayer fonts and/or colors. Continuity of layout between the submenus is also intended to make the system easier to use and customize. The video submenu is laid out similarly to the main menu, and the same can be said for the audio submenu. You'll notice that the power for this submenu is off. Power for the 3 submenus is routed through a selector that is changed by a button press. This allows the system to restrict player input based on submenu, and also to ensure that only the proper submenu is displayed at a given time. The video and audio display menus work like the main menu display, but also output information coming from the permanent gradient effect and mixer gadgets to provide feedback to the player about any adjustments they've made. A number is displayed for adjustments in addition to the effect of the permanent gadgets on the scene. The audio submenu is similar to the other 2 but simpler because audio adjustment is only set up for the general channel of the mixer in this iteration. Later iterations will allow the adjustment of all sound channels, similar to AAA title menus. Menu sounds are isolated in their own microchip with clearly marked input nodes. This way the sounds can easily be changed and hooked up without confusion. The controller sensor in the title menu system microchip assumes control on start. The background is a text displayer set to a neutral color with no text covering the entire screen. When a submenu is selected, it replaces the previous menu in place. This is accomplished by switching power between the various submenus as mentioned earlier. The previous menu's displayers power off, and the new submenu's displayers power on. The main menu is on by default. In the video submenu, the background will react to changes in brightness. This, along with an incrementing and decrementing counter, indicate to the player that a setting has changed. Can you spot the bug? Pressing circle for back reverts to the main menu. The audio submenu works similarly to video, but there is only one option to adjust. Adjustments are reinforced in this submenu by playing a sound which is affected by the mixer that is being changed. I also want to mention that if the creator prefers not to have a solid color background, they can erase this one microchip labeled background. They can then make provisions for a menu backdrop of their liking using the camera included in the title menu system microchip. Now let's fix that bug in the video submenu. The problem was that the number indicator for the contrast adjustment did not change from 0 while the contrast of the background was clearly changing. From that, we can deduce that the problem probably has something to do with the number displayer used to display the contrast adjustment amount. And when we look at the display contrast amount number displayer, we see that nothing is hooked up to the number range input. So now we have to find a signal for that amount and hook it up to the displayer. You may see it already. One of the input nodes in the title system menu microchip has an input but is not outputting that signal to anything. Not surprisingly, that node is labeled current contrast amount. We have connected the signal from the current contrast amount node to the display contrast amount number displayer. Let's see if that solves our problem. Back into play mode and the video submenu, and we can see that the contrast amount is now being displayed properly. So why show this bug fix? I wanted to show that everything is well labeled and that tracking down problems is easy. This will be important especially for novices experimenting with customizing logic modules like this for their own use. By default on start, most of the logic will destroy, freeing up resources, and control will be relinquished to the next available control. With none available, control will revert to an imp. Here's an example of the menu system modified a bit and hooked up to a scene. In this case, the start output of the menu system is run to the forced possession input on the controller sensor inside of a character, and we resume control of that on start. And that's just the beginning. I plan to improve and expand this module in early access and plan to make more modules like it soon. See you next time!